Hey guys, welcome back to another video where we are going to look at Package Manager, which is perhaps one of the most awaited features in AgilePoint NX version 9. A little bit of history first. Back in version 5, which was before AgilePoint NX was released, moving an end-to-end app from one environment to another had a lot of moving pieces. You had to move processes and then separately had to manually move forms which were written in ASP.NET or WinForm, including JavaScript, CSS, connection strings, and all shared dependencies like roles, groups, shared variables, etc. During AgilePoint NX version 6 release, we had our own inbuilt form designer alongside process designer, and we came up with the concept of apps. This was a big improvement as process, forms, JavaScript, CSS, access tokens, notification templates, etc. were all bundled together in an app package, and we provided a one-click deployment experience to package it and move from one environment to another. This made the configuration management team's life a lot more easier. The apps still had shared dependencies like shared variables, roles, groups, global access tokens, etc., which had to be set up one time manually. However, as the time progressed, in version 7 and version 8, a lot of new modules like data entity and page builder were introduced, which meant apps were having few more shared dependencies to move, which are not packaged with the app. This is when we came up with concept of dependency checker, which not only provided a comprehensive list of apps shared dependencies, but also made sure a person importing the app was notified if any of the shared dependencies were missing to avoid having broken apps deployed to production. However, most of the customers are creating hundreds of thousands of these apps, and instead of having one-click experience to move one app at a time, there was a desire to move many related apps together along with all the dependencies, and even having this feature exposed using API so that they can create their own CI/CD pipelines for deploying the apps. Today, I am pleased to announce Package Manager, which covers all of the above mentioned pain points. It allows you to bundle multiple apps in one package along with all the shared dependencies and lets you move from one environment to another using UI as well as your own CI/CD pipeline. I'm going to cover the CI/CD pipeline in a separate video, but let's look at Package Manager feature in action. I'm in my AgilePoint portal right now, and this is a fresh tenant. It has no apps deployed at this point of time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to another environment over here, and I'm going to create a package. So I'm going to go to App Builder, Package. There are a few existing packages in this environment. I'm going to go ahead and click New. I'm going to call it PM Demo. I can give it a description. Click Next. It tells me a new package has been created by such and such user on such and such date. Now it is asking me to add contents to this package, and I'm going to say add to package. There are two kinds of contents I can add, either apps and its related dependencies or pages. Pages have an independent life cycle, so they have been kept separate. You might want to bundle pages as well to move the entire thing together. I'm going to first go to apps and dependencies, and I'm going to select my budget request app over here. It immediately shows me the budget request app has a lot of shared dependencies like these two entities. There are two file group types. There's one global access token, couple of pick lists, predefined lists, couple of roles, three shared variables, couple of languages, and validation masks. So it is telling me it is going to bundle all of these together. If I want it, I can uncheck some of them as well. I'm going to go ahead and click add. So that app along with its shared dependencies have been added to the app package. Now you'll see one checkbox at the bottom which says include latest dependencies. The idea behind this is that I might have created an app package and later on my app designer keeps changing the logic, maybe adds new access tokens or new columns in the entities. I don't have to go back and keep adding new files to my app package. If I have this checkbox checked, it would automatically, when I export the application, make sure all the latest dependencies are included. If I don't want that behavior, I can uncheck this and I can then manually decide which files to package. Next time, if I wanted to add a new file, in this case, I would have manually edited the package and added the new file. In my case, I'm going to say include latest dependencies, which most people would tend to do, and go ahead and click save. So at this point of time, my package has been created. If I drill down, I can see what are the contents of the package. So there is one app right now, two entities, and there are some other resources. I can select the checkbox, and there are certain options which get highlighted in the global menu bar over here. I can always edit the package. I can either go in and delete this from the package, or for example, I can click on add to package, apps and dependencies, and I could have manually added more if I wanted more apps or more files to the existing app. Now, as I said, you don't have to manually do all of that. You can say include latest dependencies, and it would have automatically included all the dependencies for the selected application. So that's the edit app. Similarly, I can delete an app. If this app has ever been exported, this is going to be archived. It will be a soft delete. If it has not been exported ever, then you can permanently delete it as well. So if I go to permissions, you can see who are the package owners. The person who created the package is by default the package owner, but he can go in and add additional members, users or groups. You can search and you can add additional members as package owners. People added as package owners are the ones who will see this package in the list, as well as they can edit the contents of the package or export the package as well. Global package managers and tenant administrators can manage or see all packages. The permission used to control that is if I go in Manage Center, go to App Management, Permissions, you'll see a new permission over here called Global Package Owners. Anybody who is added over here, apart from tenant admin, will have access to all the packages in this environment. You can add a group by username or full name. You can add users over here and they will have access to all the packages. Now, people who are global package managers and tenant admin can actually see all packages by just flipping this switch. By default, you're only seeing the packages where you are marked explicitly as the owner. But I can see all packages if I had that permission. This switch will only be visible to global package managers. Okay. The next one we are going to look at is export. Now this is the main operation over here. So I'm going to say click export. What I'm going to do is you have options over here. If you see the name of the package, what version of the package is being exported, it will automatically get incremented every time I export it. Allow publish on import. So do you want the package to be automatically deployed and published at the same time on import, or you want the user to perform some manual steps before the app is published? So in the first one, I'm going to say allow publish on import is unchecked, and I'm going to provide some post import instructions because this is the first time I'm deploying the package. It has some access tokens, maybe some shared variables where I want the configuration management team to change the values so that it points to the production values. So what I'm going to do is, this is a rich text editor. I'm going to put a couple of instructions over here. It can have as elaborate instructions as you want. I'm going to just put 3 points over here. Now, optionally, you can protect your package with a password as well so that only people having the password can import the application. I'm going to say, here is my password and click export. So my new package has been created. I'm going to save it in my folder over here. Now, if I go in to my other environment, which was a blank environment, I'm going to go to App Builder. Remember, at this point, I have only one app in that package. I'm going to go to Package. I'll click on Import. I'll select my file, PM demo. I'm not going to enter the password. I'll say Validate Package, and it will tell me that it is password protected. So I'm going to add my password over here. Now, by default, it is showing me all the packages I have imported in past. Right now, there is none. If I was a global package manager, I can see the import history of all the previous packages as well, imported by any other user. I'm going to go ahead and select Validate Package. As you can see, at this time, it is showing me the following app along with its dependencies would be important. And it is telling me for each dependency it does not exist right now, and the action performed would be it will be created as a new file. And I'm going to go ahead and click import. This operation might take few seconds. Once the app has been imported, if you provided any custom deployment instructions, those start appearing in a pop-up dialog over here. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and we can go ahead and perform those instructions. I'm going to click OK over here as well. Now if I go to import, you will see there is one row over here which is showing up. Now as I mentioned, as a global package manager, you can see other people's import history as well. So just to see that the app got deployed, I'm going to actually go in and go to all apps. Right now this app is there. So we are going to go back into our development environment and we are going to make few changes. One change I'm going to do is I'm going to go to data entity and go to the customer entity, which was used in the budget request app. And I'm going to say maybe add a new field, customer sense, and click save. So a new field has been added. Similarly, I'm going to go to manage. I'm going to navigate to app builder, shared variables. I'm going to create a new shared variable, maybe add PTTR5, and its value is demo. Click add. I'm going to go back to app builder, my budget request app, and on any of the forms, I'm going to open it in edit mode. I'm going to add maybe a new text box and map this text box to the newly added custom attribute. So this is now actually part of the application. I'm going to go ahead and say save and check in. Now, any app to be included in the package has to be published. So I'm going to go ahead and click publish. So it is published in my dev environment. Now everything is tested out. I want to include it in the package. As I mentioned, any new dependencies would be automatically included if I had the checkbox checked, which is the case for my application. So I'm not going to manually add attribute 5 and customer entity changes. In this case, it will be automatically picked up as I export the package. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say add to package. At this point of time, I'm going to add a second app to the package, maybe order management. And I'm going to say also add one of the demo pages. I'll include my wax of furniture page over here and click add. So at this point of time, my package has few changes in the budget request application, a new app called order management, and a page which is listed as wax of furniture. And I'm going to say include latest dependencies for all of these and click save. I'm going to select my package, click export. At this point of time, I'm going to say allow publish on import, and I'm going to remove all the instructions because they have already been set up. And I'm not even going to protect it with password. So I'm going to go ahead and say export. Version 2 of this application is getting exported. I'm going to select the package, click on audit log. This is where you can see the entire history of what has happened with this package. When the package was created, when it was updated, when it was exported the first time, when it was exported the second time, what was included. When you hover over it, it shows you the entire history as well. Similarly, if you click on version history, it shows you various versions of the packages which have been published. You can always download the previous version of the package as well. You can go in and click on download to download it. If you wanted to prevent people from downloading a previous version of the package, you can always deprecate it. As soon as I deprecated it, the download option is disabled. You can always undeprecate it as well. We are going to close this out. Next, we are going to go into the other environment and try to import the package. And go to the app builder homepage, click on package, click on import. If I select, right now it is showing me the app history. What happens is if I select the package, it starts showing me app history for that package only. In my case, there's only one app, that's why you're seeing the same row, but it would have filtered out automatically. Since I'm not password protected it, I'm not going to enter any password and click validate package. And it shows me the history. It says all these files exist because I already moved it, but there are few operations which are going to happen. For example, the app will get overridden, the entities would get merged if there are any changes, file groups would be overridden. You don't want to overwrite any of the global access tokens shown over here. Similarly, for app 2, it is telling me a couple of entities, they already exist, so they will only be merged, and there is a new access token that would be created as new, and the app would be created as new. Similarly, the page, it will be created as new. Now this time, because I explicitly allow auto publish on import, I'm seeing a new button, import and publish. Previously it was just cancel and import. Now I'm seeing a new button. I'm going to click this one. I see any custom deployment instructions which need to be done. In this case, I have included a page in this package, and for the page, I have to always publish it after importing. So I can see that Waxo Furniture page has to be published. The auto publish action only applies to the apps. For page, I have to manually go in and say this is live. So I'm going to go ahead and say, if we go to data entity, go to customer, you can see the new column customer since has been added. If we go to manage, app builder, shared variables, the new shared variable has been added as well. Let's go back to app builder. At this point of time, if I go to all apps, I can see both the apps were moved within the single package itself. And if I go to page builder, page designer, I can see my page, which is included. All I have to do is I can go in and say publish to take it live. The apps are automatically live because I said auto publish on import. With this, we come to the end of this video. As you can see, we now can bundle the apps together and move in a single click along with all its dependencies, which gives configuration management team complete control over their app deployments. Thanks a lot for your time.